to me, this whole thing of, oh, are we living in a simulation? To me, that's the infirmary of society starting to parody itself. It's people going, I have no meaning in my life anymore. So is this even real? And again, go ask the Sherpa, go ask the Eskimo. They're not worried.
You forget what fundamentally matters in life. What is the source of meaning in a human life? If you talk about such subjects, nevertheless, you could, for a time, stroll in the big philosophical questions.
Sure.
And if you do it for short enough a time, you won't forget about the things that matter. That there is human suffering, that there is real human joy, that is real. That our time in the jungle was very hard.
Did you suffer enough to know that it's real?
Yeah, I was hoping we're in a video game that whole time.
So that's actually a really good way to. There was this moment that I watched where you were washing a shirt in this pathetic puddle because we had no water and because we had walked all day and tripped all day and gotten thorns in our hands and our feet and our legs, and we were lost in the jungle, and it was nighttime, and we didn't know if a big tree was going to just fall on us and mousetrap kill us, and there's a lot of uncertainty. But I watched something very special happen to you, and that was I saw you crouching by the side of this puddle. It wasn't even a flowing stream, so we couldn't drink it. And you were just trying to wash the sweat off of your shirt, and you looked at me and you just said, the only thing that I care about right now is water.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like in that moment we were united in the simple reality of the fact that we were so thirsty that it hurt, and that it was a little scary.
Yeah, it was scary, but also there's like a joy in the interaction with the water because it cools your body temperature down, and there's like a faith in that interaction that eventually we'll find clean water because water's plentiful on Earth. It's kind of like a delusional faith that eventually we'll find. And it was just like a little celebration. I think the cooling aspect of the water, because the body temperature is really high from traversing the really dense jungle, and just the cooling was somehow grounding in a way that nothing else really is. Yeah, it was a little celebration of life on Earth, of the jungle, of everything. It was nice. It was a nice moment. I think about that. Had a couple of those. There's one in the puddle and one in the river. One was full of delusion and fear, and the other one was full of relief and celebration.
Yeah, I've there's this thing that they say where the all the pleasure in life is derived from the transitions. When you're cold, warm feels good. When you're hot, cold feels good. When you're hungry, food feels good. And when you're that thirsty, water becomes God.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all you want. And also the other thing is that when we're out there, it felt so good to be so lost and so tired and so like we were doing level to like how would you describe the physicality of what we were doing, the level of physical exertion?
Well, it's something that haven't trained. I don't even know how you would train for that kind of thing, but it's extremely dense jungle. So every single step is like completely unpredictable in terms of the terrain your foot interacts with. So the different variety of slippery that is on the jungle floor is fascinating because some things, I mean, the slope matters, but some roots of trees are slippery, some are not. Some trees in the ground are already rotted through, so if you step through, you're going to potentially fall through. So it could be a shallow hole, or it could be a very deep hole with some leaves and vegetation covering up a hole where if you fall through, you could break a leg and completely lose your footing, or fall rolling downhill. And if you roll downhill, I'm pretty sure there's a 99% probability that you'll hit a thing with spikes on it. So there's so many layers of avoiding dangers of the small dangers and big dangers all around you with every single step. So there's like a mental exhaustion that sets in, like just the perception, and you're just observing you're extremely good at perceiving, having situational awareness of taking the information in that's really important and filtering out the stuff that's not important. But even for you, that's exhausting. And for me, it was completely exhausting, just paying attention to everything around you. So that exhaustion was surprising, because it's like, there's moments when you're like, I don't give a damn anymore. I'm just going to step. I'm just going to like.
And so that's it. You go, I don't care anymore. And you reach out and I'm just going to lean against this tree. And then what happened?
And then you
Every
get
time.
spikes in it. Yeah.
And then you have to care.
Yeah. And then there's just bad luck, because there is wasp nests. There's just like a million things. And that is physically, is mentally, psychologically exhausting, because there's the uncertainty. When is this going to end? It's up, in our particular situation, up and down hills, very steep downward, very steep upward, no water, all this kind of stuff. And it's the most difficult thing I've ever done. But it's very difficult to describe what are the parameters that make it difficult, because I run long distances very regularly. I do extremely difficult physical things regularly that on some surface level could seem much more challenging than what we did. But no, this was another beast. This is something else. But it was also raw and real and beautiful, because it's like, it's what the explorers did.
Yeah.
It's what Earth is without humans. And also just like the massive scale of the trees around us was the humbling size difference between human and tree is both humbling in that, like, that tree is really old. It's a time difference, lifetime difference, and just the scale. It's like, holy shit. We live on an earth that can create those things. It makes me feel small in every way, that life is short, that my physical presence on this earth is tiny, how vulnerable I am. All of those feelings were there. And in that, the physical endurance of traversing the jungle, was the hardest journey that I remember ever taking. Every step. And then that made making it out of the jungle, and then made it the swim in the water that we could drink. That was just pure joy. It was probably one of the happiest moments in my life. Just sitting there with you, Paul, and with JJ in the water, full darkness, the rain coming down, and us all just laughing, having made it through that, having eaten a bit of food before, and the absurdity of the timing of all of it, that it somehow worked out. And how we're just three little humans sitting in a river. Just our heads emerged barely above water, with jungle all around us. What a life.
That was a real adventure.
That was a real adventure.
That was a real one.
Yeah. I'll never forget that. So it's a real honor to have shared that. Of course, we had very different experiences. When you saw a caiman in that situation, you're like, I have to go meet that guy. It's a friend of mine.
Well, I mean, we were in the river in a thunderstorm, just our necks above. We're all laughing our asses off, and I mean, we're in the river with the stingrays and the black caiman and the piranha and all the electric eels and everything, and it's pitch black out. Yeah. And then what were we doing? We were holding our headlamps up, and there was those swirling moths, the infinity moths, all making those geometric patterns, and it's like we were just three ridiculous primates. Three friends in a river just laughing. Yeah. Because we were safer in that river than we had been in there, and we were rejoicing that the thunderstorm was compared to the war zone that we'd been living in, the thunderstorm was safe, and it really was a beautiful moment.
And also that, like, very different life trajectories have taken these three humans into this one place.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. Wow.
Is this universe that would, like, because we're kind of like those moths. You know what I mean? Like we'd come from some weird place on this earth, and we'd have all kinds of shit happen to us, and we're all pursuing some shit and some light, and we ended up here together enjoying this moment.
Yeah.
That's something else. It just felt absurd, and in that absurdity was this like real human joy. And damn, water tasted good.
Oh, water's good, man. Water and those little oranges,
Yeah.
those things, and then I would just say, like, do you feel like I feel like running? Like, no matter how much I run, I feel like like you run, you do a workout, and then you stop. Like maybe people who do ultras feel this, but like I felt like we woke up. It was like, wake up at dawn, 6 a.m. Let's start walking, break camp, go. And it's like pretty much you just don't stop all day. And it's level 10 cardio all day long. And you're sweating buckets and there's no water. It's like you would never put yourself through that voluntarily. You couldn't. You would never have the resolve to continue torturing yourself. Except for that we were trying to make it to freedom, to get out. And it's like the obsession of that with the compass and the machete and the navigating. Fuck.